It's your girl Manera.
Let's go Abbott.
And Ayana.
And you're now tuned into Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous? Why the fuck am I not famous? Cause I ain't naked. Chickens ain't got no style and straight brainless. Niggas rocking tits and wigs, so shameless. Meanwhile, we sitting here acting like we whack. Not hating, I'm just stating the facts. Girl, you know what doctor made her ass fat. True. Tommy T made their belly flat. Yeah. And all these niggas think that they can rap. Okay, I got this. I know that we're funny. Brains and beauty, my mama ain't raised no dummy. Positive energy, keep them bad vibes from me. Put it all together, we'll be making all the money.
Why the fuck am I not famous? Ha, I ask myself every day. Tweeting, sharing, Instagramming, but still I can't get paid. So I hooked up with my girl. It's that bitch. We gotta get made. Because we got the brains, we got the jokes. So let's just start the show.
Welcome.
Hi, guys. Who wrote this deep?
I don't know who
dare?
wrote this. Oh, it was probably Lee last week. So, yeah. Welcome to episode 42 of Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous? Funny conversation with the dope.
Yep, broke.
Today we are joined by transpersonal therapist and author Envita Rose. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
You're happy to be here, and you lost the silent library.
I did. I'm not happy about that, but
Yeah,
Big
but you
loser.
got a pretty okay dare. Like, it wasn't too rambunctious.
But she doesn't really use social media like that. So maybe we'll allow her to pick another one. We throw this one back in.
Okay.
You want to do that?
okay.
All right.
That's probably
Well,
good. 'Cause
okay.
I'm based in Switzerland, so
So
Okay.
pick another one.
Oh, God, I
and
hope
I'll
it's-
throw.
Listen, manifest that it'll be great and easy.
Back
I
in
thought
there.
that one was. I was just thinking he won't believe it when I said that.
So, if you guys don't know, the last one that we had.
No, we're gonna.
we're
save
gonna use it again.
Yeah, 'cause I'll
Oh,
put it
okay.
right back in the dare jar. All right. What's this one?
I hope you pick it next time. Is this better?
What's going on? Who's writing these dares?
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I see this one?
It says full-on curls at the end mustache.
I should draw a mustache on my face
Okay, we
during
can
the
do.
show.
We did this. So who wrote this?
I don't know, because that's
That's none of our handwriting.
none of our. And they
Those are like
Look at
titties.
the.
and then little like.
I don't even have makeup today for you to draw a mustache. Did you bring makeup today?
Well, I guess I
Flawless.
didn't.
You know what? So now you got to text the other person. We're gonna
Yeah.
make you. You're gonna have to do the first dare.
So I have to go out and get my phone because I don't even have my phone.
We can do it later.
No, we
can
can do it later. Don't worry about
Okay,
that.
we'll do it later. And when you mean the last guy, like dated, or
Okay,
do you
so
mean, like,
get the
something
dare,
serious?
and I'll tell you what
Oh,
it
you
was.
did that?
It was the last guy. It said to
Oh boy.
You know which one it is.
yeah, I think so, because it was like dirty.
I don't know how like good that sounds on air.
No, the paper. Look, can you get the other paper? It says to DM the last guy you curved. I miss you, and I want to work on us.
Okay.
So you're gonna just text them.
Okay.
Okay,
I
but
miss you.
Do you know the definition of curved?
That's a new one for me. I have to say.
Right.
So curved is
So
someone
curse on
you
that
kinda
that you
ignored.
kind of or rejected or just
Exactly.
wasn't interested in.
Oh,
it.
that one?
Yeah. And you have to basically like
Really?
Yes.
tell them I miss you.
Oh my god.
I wanna work on us.
I don't know what happened, but we should really try this again.
And then after they reply question mark, just
block
like
'em.
just,
Just block 'em.
kidding. Like I do. JK.
I was just joking. It was a dare.
Okay. I'm sorry in advance for having to do this, but I do follow through with my word.
Yes.
So this is happening.
Well, we all know what day it is. Yes, it is Wednesday, and our Hump Day segment gives you an interesting, weird, unknown, or fun sex fact. And this week's Hump is all about the benefits of sexual meditation. So the media is full of images and headlines on like how you can have great sex, having a great body, new moves, different positions, and sex toys. But what's often overlooked is whether you're actually in tune with the person that you're with or with your mind when having sex. So when you're having sex, are you planning different things? Are you planning your schedule for the next day? Are you going over your grocery list? Are you worrying about even having an orgasm or the next person having an orgasm? So meditation, sexual meditation is kind of teaching you how to be in tune with the actual act, just focusing on the act.
Being in the present?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had a girlfriend that she told me like when she was with her baby father and they were like coming towards the end, she will always say, she's like,
The
listen.
end of their relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, listen, I don't have time to have sex, but he always wants to have sex. So this is what I do. I just suck his dick and then I think about how I'm going to do the laundry, what time I drop the kids off. And by the time I'm on my third list, he's already done and I'm just going to sleep.
Oh my God, that's so
That's
sad.
so that is sad. It's not even an exchange of like
Any
energy,
kind of
no
nothing.
feeling, no nothing.
It's exchange for him.
Well, they
it's
say
emptiness actually.
They say some of the
Empty.
benefits of sexual meditation. It can teach you to, less stress, so it's more fun to have sex, making you closer with your partner, having sex feel fresh again. But what are some methods of sexual meditation?
Well, I think it's really important that when you think about the relationships with people, it's probably sex is the most intimate experience, the closest you can get with another person.
Yeah.
So it's actually a moment for you, but it's a moment for them, and it has this creational energy. So, you guys, some of us have kids.
Yeah.
The procreate.
So that vibration of that creational energy, a lot of people say you can actually manifest that through meditation and create stars. So they say, so those that have like manifested, like kind of created that with a child, they actually can create stars. That's why there's so many stars in the sky.
Oh.
I have never heard this in
Yeah.
my
Me
life.
neither.
I'm gonna look this up. How many stars have I made?
That one's mine.
Okay, so how many of y'all thought that she was talking about like stars?
A
like
superstar?
Because that's what I was thinking. I was
My
like,
son is the new, but the next
I was
Will
like,
Smith.
yes. So my baby is going to be
Beyonce.
Listen, and gonna get all the monies. Honey.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think about that. Yeah, I guess that's why the fuck I'm not famous.
I think so. There's another recommendation. They say to do back-to-back partner activity together. So mindfulness exercise can be done with a partner, and you can also basically do things like standing back-to-back or sitting in front of each other and just staring and basically intercepting the person's energy, their body temperatures, and things of that sort. So when I thought about this, I was just like, one of the things I do is I make the bed up with my partner.
Yeah, I'd love that.
I think that that's something that you could.
No, I'm just thinking about getting my boyfriend to make up the bed. And it's like, can you just pull that side, please? That's not like a nice,
stressful
time.
time.
That's stressful for me.
I think but it's also a team building exercise that y'all can do together because it's like working together to make sure that this one thing is complete. So I like my pillows. Like I like 3 pillows on the bed, one side to side and then one on the front. I like to have the ends of the pillows on the
I
inside.
never even got that far.
So it's like
I was like, oh, what do you? Wow.
But that's something that he realized about me. He's like, I never knew that was something that was so like pet peeve for you.
Okay.
So I think that that's another good thing that you guys can do together, just to kind of like meditate and come together, so to speak.
Well, another thing that you can do is actually sit face to face with your partner and gaze into their eyes for 3 full minutes.
Ooh.
Awkward.
I think it's a little awkward.
Not for me. I don't think it's awkward.
You know
Yeah.
what?
No, actually, it's really
I
enjoyable.
love it, actually.
If you
Yeah.
take it slow a bit, turn the lights on, and like really have it's enjoyable. I'm just saying.
The reason why I'm laughing is because my boyfriend is so goofy.
Yeah, so is mine.
Like he's gonna look at me and be like, "You're
Wink.
looking sexy tonight." Like, no, babe, we're supposed to be silent. Like it's supposed to be. Sorry. Okay, let me start. Let's
Get
start.
back into the moment. Right?
And then he'll just start swaying. Like he'll do something to make me laugh and like break the
But I
meditation.
think if you guys like really try, I
Yes.
think the swaying can even be sensual.
It's rhythm. It's movement. That's
Yeah.
why.
And he don't got no rhythm. Not even a piece. Not even like a little out. No, none. So we'll just stick to the gazing.
Well, besides that, for me personally, I actually like to cook with my partner.
Oh, I like that
enjoy
too.
that. That's
I do
something I
too.
do like to do. So it's just like I think anything intimate, like building intimate like skills?
I
anything
think
that you do
cookers-
together would make sex better. to
Cookers?
me.
Yeah, the people who cook. That's like the cookers.
Cookers.
Chefs?
What do they call?
Chefs, cookers.
Yeah, the cookers. The cookers. The ones who cook. I thought it would more so be like don't y'all like company?
I do like company, but for me, I enjoy family anyway. So if my boyfriend's with me, if my son's with me in the kitchen, that's just something I enjoy anyway. But I feel like we made this together,
right?
And it's
Created
more
something.
special now.
What about you?
I think regarding cooking,
Mm-hmm.
I like someone to help me, but I like to lead.
Okay. See, I'm not the cooker.
Because I love to cook.
Oh, you do?
So I know, so if it's Indian, Tibetan, Italian.
Ooh.
Let the people know where you're from.
Right, because we.
Oh, she said it earlier.
Well, I'm from Switzerland.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. So I'm from Switzerland, and but I grew up in California. And
Cali girl.
Yeah, I grew up in Malibu, California.
Ooh, like 90210.
Yeah. Do you have short
Yes.
shorts and roller skates?
I don't, but that hot red bathing suit, I'm looking to get one of those. But yeah, and I love cooking, and I love people around. I wish I had like a house just full of just people coming in and out all the time.
I'm the same way.
It sounds like my house.
Yeah. We're
Except they're
coming.
not welcome.
We're coming.
They also say that you can try a slow sex session. You know, the world is so fast paced.
Yes.
And it's just, how about slowing it down? I think that's super sensual and
Me too.
sexy too.
I agree.
Let's just take the whole time slow and see where it leads. I
Yeah.
think that'll like build the anticipation to the
think I would get
orgasm.
So,
anxiety.
do y'all want story time or not?
Yeah, tell us.
So I had a recent visitor at my house, and I could not have sex while they were there, but it was like perfect timing because it was just perfect timing, so it had to happen.
Okay.
So when it was happening, it was like really quiet, really sensual, really slow, and it was probably the best sex that I had in a really long time. So thank you for coming over. I really appreciate it. Maybe you should come over more often because that was really, really great.
Your
So, yeah.
energy.
I know
made
she was
everything
talking
better.
about me. I knew it.
Did she cook for you that day?
No,
I
she
didn't
did.
cook
She,
at
I think
all.
she forgot the
I
ingredients.
did.
At the
I was
house,
going to
so
make
she
rasta
couldn't make-
pasta for them.
Yes,
and I
but
left it at home.
She's coming back, and
yeah.
she will be making snow crab legs. That's
But
what
yeah,
it is.
but you know, you're not rushing. I think you just like are in tune with each other now when it's slow.
It is. I think it's so much better, especially if you use oils and stuff like that, and then it gets really good.
I think being in the moment is the most important thing. So a lot of times people, like you said, like they're just busy and caught up, and it kind of seems like you're doing a task.
Like,
versus-
exactly. Like, that's
You know what I
something
mean?
I have
Like-
to do.
Yeah, the experience and stuff. And so no matter what's going on, it's like even if you had like a really stressful day and you just slow down and you happen to be together with someone
Right.
together, then it just kind of like brings you down a whole different level, which is really nice. So yeah,
See,
finding that
I
time
watch
is
too much
important.
TV.
It's like marijuana to me.
I
just
watch too
saying.
much TV, so I think about like, oh, I've had a stressful day. Let me go home, light some candles, rub some oils, and
Put on
let's
some
try.
Sade?
Yes, and like let's try to have some TV sex.
TV sex.
Yeah, you know, like
Really?
like
But that's
The
like
TV on?
no,
No, like what she sees on
like
TV.
what I
she's
see
gonna
on
mimic it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's what I. Yeah, that's. I mean, you know, Showtime, HBO, those places. That's what I think of when I think of like slowing it down and doing something different. I think of like TV. Sex.
Okay, so to our listeners, what we're gonna do, we're gonna slow it down. Maybe a 3-minute gazing into each other's eyes session.
No
I
laughing.
could definitely do that one.
I can't
Do the gaze thing.
Maybe even just some breathing together. Make the bed together.
Yes,
Cook some dinner together. Maybe that'll help. What do you guys think?
I think that all those things. I mean, you have options, so you can choose out of the plethora
Yes.
of things that we
And just
gave
try
you.
not to think about your grocery list, or if you're not into it, you shouldn't even be having sex if you're like
with that
concerned
person.
everything
Agree.
else.
Yes,
If you
I
don't- if you
totally
feel
agree. If you're not
forced-
into it, then don't bother
Yeah.
with it. I had a girlfriend when she was really young, and she's like, "I've never actually had an orgasm," and I was like,
What?
"Why would you do that?" She goes, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, why would you have sex with someone if you're not?" She goes, "Like for the other person." I'm like, "Oh, wait a second."
Whoa.
Aw,
was
you're
like-
so sweet and dumb.
It was just like it's supposed to be an experience where like you're missing out on something.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, take your time, like, get to know your
Yeah.
body and express yourself and experience it. And because there's something in it for you as well. So it's an experience together.
Right.
But I think, you have to explore a little bit yourself and the other person a little bit
Right.
more than you might
I
have been
agree.
doing. Yeah.
I get nervous. I feel like when my girlfriends tell me that, I be wanting to help them. Like, I want to, like, all right, girl, listen, let's go do something together that we can actually get you to feel what I feel. That's where I go with it. But then I think that's kind of like personal and
I'm
weird.
trying to think of what exercise you could do with your friend. Like, hey,
You
let's
can't.
do this.
It's weird.
Oh my God, the only thing that I ever said once, I don't know if I should say this on air. I said, you need to have a look. She goes, well, what do you mean? And I go,
With a mirror?
Yeah. You need to have a look downstairs.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
You
Yes.
need to know,
I agree.
like what's going on
anatomy.
down there. I know. Yeah, it's
You don't look at yourself?
I hate the way a vagina looks.
Really?
but it's your most sacred piece on your body.
It is, but I don't like.
And it's so weird because you're bisexual. So
I don't
what
like-
about another woman's
Right. So
vagina?
Why does that work?
it doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, it doesn't have to be pretty for me, but I do have a preference as to what I would want it to look like.
But what about yours? You should know where
Yeah.
you like to be touched.
Oh,
and
I
how
know
it
where I
looks.
like to be
Every
touched,
part
but
of
I
you
don't.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like loving every part of you. Like the little freckle and even,
Yeah.
I do.
all that.
If
Is that bad
anything,
to say?
if-
I really have like a whole beauty mark down there.
I
and just know
do,
it.
and
It's
I notice
on the
any
left side.
changes. Like if you don't look at yourself, how do you know if there's something different going on?
Because it
down
feels
there?
different
Oh, I look.
or it
Okay.
tastes different.
Yeah. I think
Oh, you have to see.
have a look and then let me know how it is for you.
Yeah,
I'd be
I-
interested to know. Yeah.
No, I probably won't look at it. I'll probably be so. It's so.
that'll be your homework. You can't say no.
I just said how I was explaining how I'm a yes person.
Yes.
This is just
your
tried
yes
for
moment.
1 week.
Yes. Wait,
Yes.
every day? I have to look at it every day?
She said 1 week. One
It's
week.
Your body.
Every single day I have to look at. Okay, not just the front part that you see when you're like after you finish dry your skin and you see that. You mean like the entire thing? Like
I've masturbated in front of a mirror before.
I've done it too.
that is mind blowing to me.
I just wanted to see what it looked like what happens.
I record it.
that I can't do. I can't do it. But I like videos when they send it to me because I want to see the ending. But I
Really?
don't.
Okay, so that's your homework this week. You know
What,
we give each other
masturbate?
homework. No, at least
No, no,
looking at it.
Just attempt to look at it once a
Yeah.
day with a mirror and loving it and saying, I
Yes.
have pride.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear power. Let me hear it.
I'm
I'm gonna look at my vagina.
Yes. Okay.
Tonight and tomorrow.
Okay, so for this week's To Whom It May Concern, we have 2 listeners that we're going to give a call. But for you guys to think and dwell on the question while we ask them first.
Okay.
So the question is, I'm a poor college student and I teach piano on the side. My boyfriend's mom wants to hire me for his autistic 17-year-old brother. I agreed. First day, she tells me I must be on call, cook, clean, and wipe him for $7 an hour. Nope, I opt out. My boyfriend says he'll leave me if I quit. What should I do? So keep your opinions to yourself, and we're going to give a call to our listeners.
Glad you told me to stop talking.
And let's see.
Oh, you hook it up?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. So
Where-
she's
where
hooking
are-
the phone up too.
Where
The
are you
microphone.
every
I'm-
week?
I'm in another space. I'm
Clearly.
usually here, but not mentally.
I mean, you should be.
Sometimes.
Okay, so right now we are calling Endpoint 7. We attempted to call him last week, too.
But
Yeah, he never answered.
Can we leave him a message? Because I have a really important message.
we should have
I
a
wish they could
intro
hear it
music for
ringing.
this time too.
Ooh, yeah. Let's think of something.
Some kind of intro
Bow,
music
chicka,
Okay.
wow.
while they're waiting.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna beat him up. This is the second
I
time.
know. And he said, what time should I be available? It's like, I'm prepped.
Like a whole conversation.
all right, we're
Okay.
going to call.
Next.
We're gonna call Jaleesa.
Oh, it says Jelly Bean.
That's what I call. Oh, but you can hear this one ringing.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. I'm not really hearing. Oh,
Yeah.
did she take the aux off?
I don't know, but just put it into the mic.
Okay, hello?
Put on speaker.
So
Perfect.
this week's To Whom It May Concern, the question is, I'm a poor college student and I teach piano on the side. My boyfriend's mom wants to hire me for his autistic 17-year-old brother. I agreed. First day, she tells me I must be on call, cook, clean, and wipe him for $7 an hour. I noped out. Yes. My boyfriend says he'll leave me if I quit. What should I do?
That's a tough situation.
Okay.
Honestly, I do what the hell I want to do. So, with me, if you want to quit, you quit. Because I'm not wiping nobody down.
But remember, you're gonna lose your boyfriend.
You got to go.
Okay.
Sloppy all wiping.
So no, that's the only issue. But the only issue that you have is with the wiping of him.
Yeah, that's creeping me out. And he's 17 years old.
He's autistic, though.
autistic,
Oh. Yeah.
and it's for $7 an hour. You cool with that?
No, I'm not doing that. It's not worth it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm paying $15 an hour.
That's true. Minimum wage is 15.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jelly Bean.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hi. Oh gosh, you're driving?
Are you driving?
No, I'm actually in the passenger seat.
Oh, okay, good,
Oh,
good,
okay.
good. So today's question is, I'm a poor college student and I teach piano on the side. My boyfriend's mom wants to hire me for his autistic 17-year-old brother. I agreed. First day, she tells me I must be on call, cook, clean, and wipe him for $7 an hour. I opted out. My boyfriend says he'll leave me if I quit. What should I do?
So I'm supposed to answer this question right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
So if I was her, I would dump him. I would have to dump him. I don't feel like I should have to downgrade my worth or what it is that I would like to do to necessarily help benefit. Now, as your partner, of course, I would want to help as much as I can, but I'm not obligated to do anything, especially when I'm not making a means. You know what I'm saying? $7 an hour to wipe somebody else's ass. You just hired me to teach piano, not to be doing all this other stuff. So if I was actually making a decent amount of money, then yeah, that's something that I would do. But in this situation, I would just stop the whole thing.
Oh, that was so well articulated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Thank you for calling us back.
Enjoy.
All right, bye.
Who is Luther Vandross?
He's still on the phone.
Just kidding. He'll hear it when he listens to the episode. Okay, so ladies, what do you think? Envita, let's start with you. Sorry, not to cut you off.
I think that this is something that comes up in probably everyone's relationship somewhere down the road because we are in a condition-based world, but we want unconditional love.
Yeah.
And we want to feel our worth and we want to feel our value. But if we grew up in a condition-based world, it means we only receive something if we give something, and someone else is setting the bar.
Right.
So what I would suggest is obviously there's some system running, which is clearly the fact. So I think it's great that she was like, I'm going to help and I want to do something, and that it's okay for her to do whatever she was asked to do. Because I think that that's also something not really common. I mean, when you're a mom, you do it daily.
Right.
You know? So some of those things is kind of just natural. But I think the part about a lot of people, they want something, but they don't know how to get it. So I would say that probably this relationship that she's in is based on conditions, which what he is putting on, which I'm not sure if that's a healthy relationship for her. But in order to make sure that it shifts and never happens again, she's got to connect to her own love. Because it's there within, it's just not connected at the moment. And when she's got that, then these situations won't even come. She's going to have a person who's going to value her, who's going to know her worth, and who's going to love her for who she is and be grateful for everything and not base anything on conditions.
Oh, that's beautiful.
so good.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't have an answer anymore.
Right, I was just about to say, so how do I trump that? Wow, it's hard to fill in afterwards.
$20 an hour.
Yeah, but I feel like that kind of should have been agreed upon before she said yes. I do think that sometimes family and friends take you for granted.
They do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to business. I know even with
course.
myself, I
Yeah.
design and it's harder for me to sell to my friends and my family than it is a perfect stranger. Perfect stranger sees my value and hey, you're charging $200. Here's your $200. A friend or a family member is like, oh, I can't get one for free, or you can't just give me half
Well,
off.
that's a condition.
Yeah.
It's like, we're family. What about
Right.
this? It's
Yeah.
like, well, I love you. Isn't that enough?
Right. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I think that the part of we established that I was going to be teaching piano lessons, and then now you're asking me to do all these additional things, it's kind of like where it would draw the line, because it's I signed up to do one thing. How do you even know that I could do those other things sufficiently or to the best of the abilities that you will want me to do it?
For your son.
Right.
Yeah.
In addition to that, with the part with homeboy, I honestly feel like if your partner does not support you in any decision that you decide to make, whether it be yay or nay, I don't think that
They're for you.
Yeah. I just think support is a big thing. Like, if my boyfriend wants to quit his job tomorrow and go be a clown, like, let me do your makeup.
I got the pain.
Right? Like, I think that you may not agree with what that person is saying or what they want to do, but at the end of the day, if you truly love them, I think that
You'll be the number one supporter.
support is very important.
Yes, but support doesn't always mean
Enabling.
or even just saying yes. Like, you might want to be a clown, but you suck. You're not funny. No one thinks you're funny.
How? I'm a clown.
No one thinks you're funny. Maybe I don't know if you're better at something else. Maybe we can discover other options.
Yes,
if you want to quit your job.
That's encouragement.
Okay.
Encouragement would be to steer you from the foolishness that you're about to go down into the right direction and knowing what qualities I see in you. Because I feel like as a woman, maybe it's just my friends, we tend to see the betterments of guys that we're with. Like,
We see potential.
Yes,
Always.
we see what they're good
Blinded.
at, what they could be doing that could be making them a greater source of income, or just what their better version of themselves is, versus them that just feel like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this and this is just gonna be it.
They don't
But
see
I
what we
think,
see,
I
though.
mean, obviously, it doesn't mean she has to like take it or leave it. I mean, she can obviously go back and say, I really thought about this, and I care about you. However, I'm not sure that our relationship should be based on any conditions. But if she does want to go forward in doing it or doing these other things, that she just has to set the bar. I mean, people that help me out with my kids, it's like 25 to 30. Mm-hmm. And I think that's normal.
Yeah.
And I think that's even possible. So it shouldn't matter if you're a student, if you have a lot of experience, you don't. I mean, of course, it's the person's responsibility to help show how she would like certain things to be done. But there's definitely an opportunity to at least have a conversation, because that will definitely strengthen your experiences. Because sometimes those uncomfortable conversations
Make
or
everything
those
better.
situations, they just help you in your life forever.
Yeah.
Because you can fall back on that experience, you can fall back on what came out of it, and you actually feel more confident in yourself moving forward.
And that would never
That's
happen
important.
again. You wouldn't
Agreed.
you wouldn't be in that situation again.
And then you'd know in the beginning, like, oh, well, what would that entail? Like, this is what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
Where would you like to meet? And then, because that's what an engagement is, working for anybody or making any kind of an agreement. It's like both parties,
negotiator.
someone wants something, so let's put it on the table, what each person wants, and then see where we can go with it. And each person has an opt-out option.
Right.
But of course, this comes with a little bit of a clause, and I'm sure it doesn't feel good when someone's saying, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
That's really not a good thing. But that just also means that person is really not connected to the love either, because if they were, no one would do that.
Exactly.
We will both be on the same page.
Well, as you may or may not know, Jessica W. and I are flight attendants, but as a group, we are all simply plain fly. Does that make sense? Simply plain? We're simply fly.
Oh.
We're fly guys. And in this segment, we give you a list of shit that just doesn't fly, whether it be in the air or in everyday fucking life. So, call me now. You guys remember Cleo?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys remember her being caught for being a fraud?
A lie.
Jessica W. has her sarong today looking like Miss Cleo. And it's the Jamaican colors. So, was she even Jamaican?
I'm just letting you know, this was like a St. Patrick's theme. Not Jamaican Independence Day. Didn't pass.
So it had green in it, and I was like,
Nah,
"Ooh,
boo.
You're on the bobsled team.
But I know that as a group, we do tend to believe in like astrology and numerology
I'm super big on
and
stuff like
psychics, and we are drawn to, like, even on social media, we have a couple of people that we really like, and we watch their pages because
I'm
we
addicted.
feel like she's speaking to me,
Yes.
or this works, But then what happens when people are taking our vulnerabilities for weakness, and they're taking advantage of it and monetizing it as well.
Well, Susan.
Wait, tell me what monetizing means.
making money off of your weakness, off of something that.
So they're fake. They could be making it up And now I'm monetizing.
In my head, they're real, and I'm just giving them money because I think they're great.
Okay,
Right, because
well.
they use certain different hints that can make
Trigger
make
me?
you right,
In
make
some
you believe.
cases.
In some cases,
Like
or,
in this one.
right? Or this lady from California, her name is Susan Gerbic, and she formulated a group of 144 members to expose psychic celebrities. So, have you guys ever seen the show like Long Island Medium? No? Okay. So basically, it's a woman that goes around and she talks about how she speaks to the dead. She speaks to the people that have passed away and or she wants to deliver a message to you.
So, medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long Island Medium. That's what I said.
Oh. Does that have a show?
Yeah, there's a lot of, and there's a one
Where
with
are you?
a guy too. He's like a celebrity guy. It's a lot of them.
There's a few of them.
So basically, what she did is she formulated a group, and the group is called Grief What they do is they focus on exposing grief vampires.
So word of the day or phrase of the day is grief vampire.
Should have just let me read it because it's my word of the day.
My
The word
bad.
of the day today is grief vampire. I was gonna say physics.
That's his physics. I spelled physics. It's supposed to be.
So
Wait,
psychic.
stop! Real quick, put your phone down. Spell psychic.
PSYCHIC.
Did she get it? Because I don't know it.
I wasn't listening anymore.
She doesn't know it either.
You know why I know, and it's right because I've been writing this word all day and everywhere. Oh my God! So the conversation that we had yesterday, how your mind is conditioned to see certain things after a while, you've been seeing it forever.
Yes.
I've been seeing that word ever since I started doing this article. So I've seen it everywhere, and I'm just like, well, I've never seen this before. But whatever, kind of like when you buy a white car and then you see the car all the time. Anyway,
Okay, so grief vampire, Dr. A.
A psychic who can claim to be able to summon, speak to the dead.
That wasn't English. So they are fake and they claim to summon and speak to the dead, but they're like faking.
right.
Okay.
So the
My
group
bad.
that she created, they basically create Facebook pages and they put like fake information on there. Like my name is Jonathan and I had a brother that passed away, and
They make completely fake stories.
completely fake profiles, and then they'll go to, let's say, the psychics convention, or if they're having a show at like the Doubletree or something like that, and they'll basically try to connect with the psychic and allow them to
Read
start
them?
a reading, because they've already, so the psychic has already seen their Facebook profile, all that jazz. So they pick them out of the crowd. They see that they'll have like little hints. So they'll have tissues, or they'll have VIP seats, so that they're knowing for sure that they're going to get chosen. And once they get chosen and they start the quote unquote reading, they'll be like, oh, well, I have a hint where I'm feeling like there's someone who had cancer, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, cancer.
But meanwhile, that was from your fake page.
That was from your fake Facebook page.
This makes me sad.
Right. So they'll continue.
I'm totally that person to like get got because I believe everything.
They'll continue and they'll allow you to do the entire reading, and then once the reading is over, they'll send you like a message, or they'll create an entire video, and then they'll show the Facebook profile page letting you know that everything that you read about me was fake. It wasn't real. So they were liars and cheaters and deceivers.
That sucks because at least me, every day I send you guys stuff like, look, because I'm a Cancer. I'm like, look, this is me, or I'll send you guys, this is you, and I don't want to invest my money into someone and they're just like playing me. So
Have you guys ever gotten readings before?
No,
I've actually never.
You've never gotten a reading. Have you gotten a reading before?
I'm scared.
I have, yes.
Yes?
With some really exceptional people. So
Same.
I know some pretty good people worldwide that do that.
Well,
but I think,
give me their information.
yeah. So what I found out in this whole process is that everyone can actually channel and everyone can see. We all have those abilities. So it's not something that is not known. It's just something that we don't really connect to. And a lot of times, like the younger generations, like they'll like come and they've already seen visions, they'll hear things, and they're like, oh my God, what's this? But they don't know what to make out of it. Like when they see the violet flame, I don't know if you guys have heard about that, or like the golden light, and they see these kind of things and they hear things and they just don't know like, what to do with this information. So actually the younger generations, these abilities, it's kind of like natural, or a lot of places where I go, it's kind of like I meet a lot of people who are already in connection to that. And there's a lot of intuition-based exercises. So in some of the courses that I do with people, I show them just ways that you can kind of build your intuition, like, closing your eyes, looking at an image, closing it again, and then naming off as many things as you saw. Or, listening to, like, as you're out in the hustle and bustle, like tuning into, like, one sound. And then bringing it forward, and then tuning it down again, and then bringing it back in again. So what you're doing is you're just kind of like working out your intuition that you're already having based on your senses. And that's what these people do. And if you believe that we're spiritual beings in a human experience, that means everything as well is the physical, material, emotional, mental world is also a spiritual world. But I think that when people claim that they can do something, I think that's a little bit of a challenging situation, because of course you can't judge that. I think it's really difficult to judge, but of course if they put like a trap out and they know that these people are getting the information like that, that's obviously not okay. But I think that there are a lot of people who are out there who have had are called keepers of the secrets, that have really information which is remarkable, but it's also based on facts and science. So I would go with someone who has that option. Yeah.
So I've had those moments where I'll be sitting next to someone on the subway, or I walk past them and I'm like, whoa, I'm sorry, please don't think I'm crazy, but I have to talk to you real quick. And I know you're going through a time and your daughter is doing such and such, and it just spews out, and then I'm just like, okay, bye. And they're looking at me. Sometimes they start crying. And I know, like, now that I'm, like, so busy and stressed out about work and what am I going to do with this job, and I'll feel it and be like, oh, leave me alone.
You won't do it?
No.
Oh, I don't like that.
And I remember even hitting people up, even on social media, on Facebook, and it's like, hey, I know we haven't spoken since we were 6, but you're going through such and such and such. It's going to be okay. And they're like, oh, my God.
How'd you know? Right.
Thank you. Like, not even like, ew, get off. I appreciate that, but I don't know.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about, and I think that's so great. And the one thing that I did, because I was kind of helping some people develop themselves a little bit, and there's kind of like ground rules. So if you are interested in this, or you want to have more information about this, then I'll hook you ladies up with some information. But it's kind of like there's like a rule book. So like you said, you pick up on things because I think they consider them empaths, or just kind of like you're in tune with energy, and you can kind of feel things, hear things, and whatnot. So basically what they say is you always have to ask for permission. It's like you're walking in a neighborhood. You're not just going to walk into some random door and be like, hi.
Right.
Sitting on the
I like that about SpongeBob.
Opening up the fridge.
Can you make me a tea? No.
Come, let's sit and talk about this.
So basically that's what happens. Like, our people's systems are open. They don't know that they're open, so other people are picking up on their energies. So you just always have to make sure you got the permission. When you got the permission to go, then you can get in there and say, hello, thank you. This information is what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, or how's that coming over to you, and then just let it be, and just be like, thank you so much for this experience, and thank you, and just make sure that when you step back, that you're not taking any of their story with you.
Okay.
You're kind of leaving it there where it should be, and your life is your life as you go on your way. And that's the same with you. Like, no one needs to come in your space if you're not asking them to.
Right.
And that's kind of like the rule book 101. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so funny because when I have had readings, some of the information has been like spot on, really accurate, and then some of the other information has been like, I'm not too sure. I don't believe this. Yeah, no, I don't believe this. But some of it has been real, and it's weird to me how in this generation, like now, how we're more accepting of people being able to read you, and tarot cards, and just being clairvoyant instead of calling, or even just being like, it's voodoo.
Yeah. Growing up,
it's voodoo. Like, it's bad.
Caribbean background, it's like, oh no, we believe in God. And not that. Like, that's the devil.
Right. And you can't accept it, but it's kind of like, now it's like, girl, do you know that she told me this and it came true, so I need you to relax because she's really good.
I mean, one of the people that I worked with, she said in the beginning, she's like, I was going through some hard times. So with my last partners, my son's father, it was a really difficult time. And I just thought, why not try it? Why not? And
what's gonna hurt?
Yeah, I mean, why? I'm already dealing with it anyway, so perhaps maybe she could give me a little bit of insight on, so I can heal a little bit better. And she told me from the beginning, she's like, just so you know, whatever you hear, whenever you hear, 80% will be probably accurate and 20% is going to be bull.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. And I always thought to myself, why would someone want to say that? And the fact is, it's always your choice. And the choice should always be in your hands. No matter what someone says of how your life is going to be, if you feel like you want something different, it is your choice, and that's how it can be. So if you hear something which you think that's not really the direction I want to go in, then use that as an opportunity to go in the direction you want.
And that's why he died. For free will. Just saying.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that went left pretty quick.
Where did that one come from?
Right.
Okay, so the show is called Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous? And what we do is we try to figure out what is stopping us from living our best lives, from getting what we really want for ourselves. It's not, necessarily being famous, but successful in whatever it is that you choose your path to be. Last week in the studio, super random, you were in the studio with us and you were sitting down watching us do our video and we're like, okay.
Acting up crazy.
Yeah, I thought you were actually just waiting for us to finish so that you could take pictures.
a picture.
That's why I was like, oh, are you waiting to take a picture? Because we were going to let you take a picture first.
Because we know we take forever.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have ever seen Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I think it might have been part 2. And he says something like nothing is by accident. Nothing has by accident. And so you emailed us about coming on the show.
Yeah.
And when you put that in, I'm like, I always say that. I'm like, you were just meant to come on this show.
Yeah.
It was meant to be. I owe everything. So I'm happy to have you here.
Yeah.
I would like you to explain to our listeners what is a transpersonal therapist.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much. And I have to say, when I was out there and you guys came out after your show, it was so enjoyable just to see how you guys were like in the moment and laughing and dancing. I loved it. Every moment of it, I loved.
Thank you.
And afterwards, we had just a really nice conversation about life and manifesting what you want. And that's kind of been what I have been looking for all my life. And basically, the motivating factor was just that I wanted a better life,
right,
than what life gave me. So what happened was I kind of always tried different kinds of aspects, and I realized that transpersonal therapy is something that works because it takes everything into consideration. So we're all individual parts of a whole.
Okay.
And when we think like we want something, but it's not happening, then maybe it was because we weren't seeing the whole picture. So I started going into the other aspects of what else is there. So I went into the emotional aspects of the inner child work. I went into the mental aspects, which is neurolinguistic programming, to understand like why we do what we do and how we can rewrite our own, reprogram our own software. And then working also within the spirituality. So what are there things that we maybe don't see that could be taken into consideration? And then also the physical. So for example, if you also experience kind of like physical pains, there's also messages behind them and perhaps situations that emotionally have already been around that you just haven't paid enough attention to, and it kind of manifests into a more dense form. So everything's a vibration when you go into like our cellular structure. And then basically you break it down that first is the feelings that vibrate within us. And then if you feel it enough, a thought kind of starts to form. And then from that thought, you start kind of expressing it with words. And the word sets out a vibration for an action to take place. So if you understand where your belief systems are and your subconsciousness, I guess the best way I explain it to people is like, say you want something in your life, but it's just not happening. So you want financial freedom.
Okay. Yes.
So if you look at other people, it's like they've got it, So you're asking yourself, why isn't it happening with me? If your subconscious is not tuned into that, then there could be money right in front of you and opportunities right in front of you, and you will never see it. It's kind of like your safeguard system, because if you've dropped something emotional with money, basically like if your money was hard to have in your family, or in my case, it wasn't earned in a very good way based on my father's career choice. So therefore, money for us was something that was not good. It was like, kind of, bad.
Right.
And so therefore, it's like when you have food in front of you, but you don't like the dish, before you know it, your body's already reacting. You're going back and you're thinking, oh no, I don't want that. So that's what's happening on a physical, all around you form. So you're actually, consciously you want something, and subconsciously it's going, no, we got to steer clear. And you find yourself always, basically not getting what you want.
I'm sending out two different messages.
It's crazy because literally, like, every day I sit in my predicament and I'm like, why is it that other people get blessed, right? And why do I have to work so hard for it? But then at the same time, I sit and I'm like, why aren't you doing the things that you're good at to make the money and do it? Like, what? I'll know it, and why am I not doing it? Like, what is it? Like, what's stopping me from doing it?
Well, that's exactly what I work with. So, and it is so easy to get to what you want to have. Like, most people just don't know how easy it is. But nowadays, information through the internet, these opportunities is what's going to help everyone create better lives for themselves. So, basically, it's your senses. So everything to reprogram what's in your system is your senses. So what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, and what you feel. When you can tune into this, into your vision, then that will give you the location where your subconscious will actually go to.
Literally what you manifest is what you'll reach for.
And then when it starts, like, there's a little bit of bumps in the road. So what I do is, like, I've created something called what challenges are you facing in your life? And there's like 7 categories. So it works with love, health, financial, partner, social life, your career, purpose, and then spirituality. And then basically you have to begin where you are. It makes no sense if you want to go somewhere and you are not honest with where you are. And I think that is the hardest thing.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing because then you got to change, and most people don't want to change.
Because you have to face you.
Yeah. So basically, either you're living in misery or you're living in honesty.
That was deep. Misery or honesty? Which
I like
one would
honesty.
you like?
I'm all for it.
Yeah. So
Until you actually become real with it. Like, why haven't you started doing anything that you want to do?
Because I don't know if I want it yet.
But see, that's just part of you saying it's okay if I fail. Because why wouldn't you want to do all the things you want to do? And if you could, just take a moment. If you had all of the resources in the world, and I'm not talking about money, because money ain't worth nothing until you put it into something. So if you had all the resources in the world, where would you be?
In the rainforest, playing in water.
So why aren't you there?
Because we're afraid of.
And this is where it starts coming up. So basically, you have to acknowledge.
What if
where
you don't
are.
have the answer to that?
Well, you always have to give yourself a direction, because if you finally get to the rainforest, and I've been to a couple rainforests, and it's hot and sticky and beautiful, but you're just like, oh,
And there's
okay,
snakes.
this is good.
And mosquitoes.
Should I go back?
Then you're like, I think I'll take a drink on the beach.
Right.
So you can go where you want to go, but if you decide that you want to go somewhere else after, then you can do that. So that's what you get when you have all the resources available, that you have no limitations, because your limitations are set from a filter from where you are and what you experienced in your life. When you shift that filter so there are no limits, then you have all access. All you need to do is
Then what
decide.
do you do? It's like, if I have everything now, I want to do nothing.
Well, first you have to start doing what you want to do. And then you have to see if that would be everything. Okay. Because the list is basically, what are you facing right now? And if you could, what would you want to change? And then afterwards, that alone is going to take some time just to think about some things.
Right.
And then the next is called the life list, which is really amazing. And it just basically says, you write a list. Maybe you start with like 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. And you just write a couple things about what you like to have. And that actually works with your subconscious mind. So perhaps, when I did this when I was 20, I think I started out and I was broke, didn't have a car, didn't have a home. I did have a job though, which was good. But
So I got one thing.
yeah, I had one thing. And a stranger came up. We started talking about this, and he explained this to me. And I thought to myself, what do I have to lose? Like why not? And I started writing it, and I thought to myself, I don't think I ever really asked myself, like, what do I want?
Right.
Take away everything else that, like, I was taught that I should or could or would or anything. It was just about me and what do I really want? And I realized it took me about 3 weeks. And in the beginning, I was like, I want to save $100. That was big money back then. And in the end, like after 3 weeks, I thought, no, I can do more. And I put a little zero on top of it. And funny enough, it was like, I want to buy my own home and have a car and all those things that I didn't have at the time. And in the end, I think about 2 years in it, I found the list again and I had achieved 80%.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Yeah. So basically, it was all in alignment with what I wanted. Okay, there were a few little things that I wanted that were really in alignment. But that's okay.
Did you write these things down? Did you kind of set it and forget it? That's how I think of it. Did you write it
You
and
set
then
it and
just
forget it. Exactly.
That was it.
Yeah. So they say fold it up, like put it in your freezer or put it in a drawer, like you don't look at it. So basically that's where it kind of tunes in and it sets your filter for the things that you want to have. Because we actually are in a moment where we can only take in, I think it's about 7 to 8 things consciously. And then subconsciously, we're talking about like computing, millions of different things, sounds, noise, everything that's going on. So we have to have some kind of filter system because otherwise we would never even make it out of bed in the morning.
Right.
Because we'd be like, wow, our breath.
So in depth. Right?
Yeah. So obviously we created a filter system so we can keep it moving. And our filter system is what helps us see the things that we want. So I don't know, we were talking about yesterday, have you ever experienced when you wanted something, you were looking for a car, some people, would like to have a baby and all they see are pregnant people walking around, or then you see that make and model on the street. That's exactly what we've done. You've shifted your reticular activating system, your RAS, so that actually you're going towards the things that you want in your life. And if you, first of all, don't know specifically, clarity on what you want, that's never going to happen.
So you guys say write your list and put it away. So I've been the type of person I feel like when I feel the best or I'm the most successful is when I write my list and then I check it off. Okay, I did this, I check it off. So you're saying don't do that.
So there's different ways that people do. So if you feel like you may be already connected to your manifestation, so it's easier for you to visualize, to see, to hear, think, and be in that video. Yeah.
But for me, the do is the problem. Okay.
Do you mean do as in completed or?
Yes.
Okay. So you have your list, but you never do it. Okay. Then what that is, it's actually your underlying system is going against what you want. So you have to clear that up.
Like a blockage.
Yeah, it's like a block. So basically, have you guys ever had a situation where you're like, part of me wants to do this and part of me is not so sure?
My whole life.
Yeah.
Right now, part of me,
All day.
Yeah.
most of me wants to quit my job, and
Yeah.
piece of me is too scared of
So-
what I don't know.
How do you think it would be if you observed externally 2 people always in a conflict? We should do this. No, we should do that. We should do this. We
It's
should.
tiring.
It's tiring.
Yeah,
I'm exhausted.
Draining out.
So that's what's going on inside you. Part of you is saying, I want to do this. And part of you is saying, don't do that, do this. And so we're basically exhausting ourselves because we're not working together within ourselves.
Oh, conflict. It's self-conflict.
Yeah, so it's so a great exercise is you pull up the parts of you, and you just meditate for a second and you're like, hey, so, thank you all for being here and, kind of welcome yourself and be in your space and say,
I like how you said thank you all when
Yeah.
you're speaking to yourself.
For all our
Because they're
personalities.
all parts of you.
Okay.
And then you say, what part is responsible for, wanting to now make a change? And what part is responsible for not wanting to make a change? Okay, well, this is just like a very easy NLP exercise. So why would you not want to change? And you allow that fear, or you allow those thoughts or those limitations to actually have a voice, because we are just always ignoring ourselves and our own signals. So you allow it to kind of have a voice and say, okay, I'm listening, I'm here. What age does this start? Because somehow down the road, it always started at a foundational block from when we were growing up. And that's now our belief system of how we think life is. But we want something else. So is it really that way? So then you go in and you say, okay, and you put up a little screen and you say, this is how I'm doing now. Does it look like I'm happy? Does it look like I'm getting what I want? Does it look like I'm safe? Or whatever that part may want. And then say, look, I got a new job. Let's all upgrade. We're going to have a party. The next part is going to step in and it's going to project what we want in life. And then you just kind of throw up another film and you say, this is me having what I want. And you are the star in your own movie. And you look at them both and you say, hey, all, what do you guys think? Am I happier here or am I happier
in
there?
a movie, right?
Yeah, you see that?
She's like a total mediator to
Yeah.
herself, like presentation.
Yeah,
guys.
of course. This is it. And then you're like, all right. So everybody, so it's like, all right, we want happiness. All right, let's do that. Like this is, okay, then you get all the parts together. Are we in all agreement to go forward with this? Everyone's excited. And then check in and say, okay, I'm gonna leave it where it is, and I'm gonna come back in like 2 weeks, or I'm gonna come back in 3 weeks, and we're just gonna see how are things going. And then you get a boardroom meeting. So you get all of the parts of who you are.
The
so
executives.
Like, yeah. So I'm like a mom and sometimes a partner, and I work. So I get all of those. I'm creative, and I'm doing some teaching. So I've got all of these things together, and then I say, okay, at the moment we're going to be focusing on this task, and I need everyone's support. And that means that sometimes some other people will not have as much of my time going forward, but I need to be able to take this time to create what I want. Is everyone okay with that? So when you're in kind of harmony and working towards a common goal, I mean, anyone would say you're going to succeed. And that's what connecting who you are together. And it's just so much more peaceful when you've got yourself at your back.
This was like so good.
I've been holding back tears for the longest.
She's been googly eyed the whole episode.
And y'all know that we normally talk a lot during the guest.
She got
we're
us
just
quiet,
all sitting here like
we're soaking it all in. Like if I could take every word and just like absorb it, osmosis through my skin, I would.
But basically, all I'm saying are things that are already within you guys. So all this is like you guys remembering the truth of who you are and stepping it up and reconnecting to that. So what I'm saying is nothing new. Whatever's out there is nothing new. There is no guru in your life but you. And this is just about reconnecting to your universal rights, love, happiness, right to choose, right to like manifest what you want in your life, and just reconnecting and making it happen.
I'm gonna listen to that one part of the episode
over and over.
So
But
that
do you guys hear her tone itself, like just her voice, her tone?
Yes.
It just
Soothing.
calms me.
It's soothing.
so that I can remember that every single time, because people will tell you, like, when I've gone to my readers, they're like, yeah, you're a natural manifester, like you just have to hone into that ability. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
What do I do? Like,
Yeah.
do I get some crystals? Like, do I, like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because
How do I get
don't like, and then they're like, well, make a manifestation box. And I'm like, okay, well, do I have to
Yeah.
actually get a shoe box? Am I getting a jar? Like, do I have to make it pretty? Like,
Should I put glitter?
so many things go through my brain, and I'm just like,
Not
this
in
is
the
too
moment.
much. I just want to go take a nap.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of information is out there, and it's really good information. But I think what I was always interested in is why it didn't work. And then when I found out like this worked but this didn't work, then I'd like dig deeper, like why and how could I wow, it works now. And I think that was something that I learned like the last shift. So I've been doing this list like for a while, and to the point where I was like, whoa, I gotta be careful what I ask for. But it was really specific, like and it's all about the why.
Okay.
Because, like I said before, money isn't anything unless you put it towards something. So if it's your why, like driven by your passion and intentions in your true purpose, you will hit it every time. But a lot of people, it's getting to the what and the why, which is so difficult. So that's why I just created something really simple.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it to you ladies, and you guys can share it with everybody.
Okay.
And I'm always available. And for all of my kind of transpersonal therapy stuff that I do, I actually don't charge.
Wow.
Because I don't really do anything. I mean, I do, but I really don't.
He's like, I don't do anything.
It already exists within you. So how can I charge you to connect to your unconditional love when it already exists within you?
Because you're telling each part of me that forgot about it. Like, hey, remember,
No,
there's
you
another
are.
part.
You are, not me. The only thing that I do is I do like a couple products and I do maybe some online courses, and that I do. But if someone's like really coming up with something, like I work with a lot of people who have had challenges with the right to exist. So like suicidal tendencies, depressions.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this.
And everyone should have the right to live. That happens God given when you're born, you know, and that's the same with love. So therefore, you can't. I mean, it's like saying, "I love your shirt. Can I have it? And you can pay me $10 for it."
What?
So
like
what
the
exactly
same.
are you giving us? Because I
So-
guess you're saying we pay it forward. Once we do the work, we pay
so
it forward.
you
to
pay
someone
it
else.
forward.
Okay.
And for you guys, if you would like, anyone who's listening to this podcast, I will do a Path to Purpose, an online course at no cost.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Can I sign up?
Yeah, you guys can
You
all sign
already
up.
are signing.
Yeah, you guys are already in. It's only 6 weeks, and then during this time, we'll do like calls, but they'll be recorded. And then on my website, I'll just have like a members page, and you'll go in, and we'll kind of like go through these steps with you, so you don't feel like you're alone in this process, and you can really ask me any questions that you have. And basically, I want to see results.
Okay, so we'll set that
That's
up.
the only thing.
We'll set it up.
Pay it forward.
How
Yeah.
How can they contact you?
Yeah, where are we going to find you?
So you can contact me on my webpage,
Okay.
which is my name, Envita Rose.
.com.
.com.
ENVITAROSE.com.
And there's all my contact information there. And I'll send you guys all the information so you can put it on your Instagram.
Yes.
Yes, I will. I definitely
Good.
will.
And then people just have to register in advance so that I can share the link for the Zoom call.
Okay.
And I will also send like a little workbook so you guys can like each week have something kind of to look at and review and do.
I can't
I
wait.
am
I
so
can't wait to sit on my bed and do the book
Yeah.
club.
6 weeks, y'all. This is like really scary for me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've been
it's a
scared.
commitment. But it starts in April, so you
Okay,
still
we
have,
have some
time.
time.
Yeah,
Okay.
you still have
Oh,
some
so
time.
we're like,
We
like
want to
double
thank you
Dutch.
so much for coming on the show.
no, I
Like,
appreciate it.
so
Yeah.
much.
You guys are
Thank
That's
you.
the scary part, y'all.
You guys
No,
are
it is
good.
scary.
For
but-
everybody who did that while they're listening to the episode, I did it for you so that you know that you're no longer nervous. You let it out, and now let's get it together because the show is called
Why the fuck am I not famous?
and we all got to figure it
gotta
out so we
figure
can
it
all
out.
be famous/successful together.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Woo.
our show's coming to a close, and this week's quote actually comes from you. So it takes courage to face your fears and step into the unknown. The thing is, nothing is actually unknown. You're so dope,
Right. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for listening.
And we
Bye,
shall
guys.
see y'all
next week.
next week.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, you guys are
I was trying my hardest not to cry. I was on my phone like,
My eyes
you're not going to do this to me.
You guys can't tell. Like.